How could it have been avoided if she was racist? We were led to believe that any level of prejudice, any level of pattern recognition is the highest evil. Not just evil, but the highest evil. Oh, you're racist? I can't even be in the same room with you. Oh, you did a double take? You're looking over your shoulder because a black man is behind you? That is systemic racism, a microaggression. That is internalized racism. How dare you think that? How dare you react that way? I don't even want to know you. I don't want to be your friend. It's worse apparently now than being a murderer, barely than being a rapist, a terrorist. And yet, if she were a little bit more racist, she'd be alive.
Yeah.
If she were a little bit more racist, her parents would have their daughter. If she saw that guy and turned and walked the other way, she'd be alive.
Yeah.
If she said, I won't turn my back to him, I'll sit behind him, I'll sit facing him, she might be still alive. But what are we to do when the lesson over and over and over again is safest bet, don't be near them?
It has to be that way.
Safest bet. And who wants to gamble with their life?
Nobody.
Your safest bet is don't be in a situation where they will also be there. Next safest bet, if you see them, get away. It doesn't matter if they notice. It doesn't matter if it's offensive or insulting. If that's your safest bet, who can argue that we shouldn't behave this way? Who would argue that you should risk your life and get stabbed in the neck for no reason like her or like Austin Metcalf because you don't want to be insensitive, because you'd hate to be racist? How's that going to make the super predator feel? Or, unfortunately, how would that make an ordinary black person feel?
Who cares?
I care about my life more.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a single man. I can't imagine what it's like for a family. God forbid you're a man with your girlfriend. God forbid you're a man with your wife, with your young children.
Mm.
At that point, you have an obligation to get away. You're going to gamble the life of you, your spouse, and your children because you don't want to be insensitive. You don't want to hurt their feelings. You don't want to be considered a prejudiced person, whatever that even means. Is it worth your life? Me,
Nope.
Easy, no. You know, I like being alive. I don't like knives lodged in my throat. So I don't go near black people. And I understand perfectly
Not
well.
everyone.
There are a lot of black people that are not violent,
Right.
and I understand perfectly well there are a lot of black people that are really good people.
But you still don't want to take the risk, you know?
I'm not going to roll the dice.
Mm.
What if I'm wrong?
Right.
I'd rather be alive. I'd rather be alive and too racist than dead and not racist enough. Is that simple enough? Is that simple enough for you?
I mean, I understand what he's talking about. I mean, statistically speaking, with the crime stats and stuff, I mean, they do commit a lot of violent crimes. So no matter who you are, always trust your gut. If you see something's wrong or you don't feel right about something, you should definitely leave. And I mean, it is true, not every single black person is a horrible, violent person, but just stat-wise, you should never want to risk, or take a chance and have something bad happen to you, you know what I mean? And I feel bad, especially for the single women out in these big cities, you know what I mean? Um, that have to deal with all these people. I wouldn't feel safe at all being there alone and not having someone with me. But always always think about your situation, have situational awareness, you know what I mean? And it is also true with all these like liberals. They always want to see the good in life. They want to hide themselves from reality. They don't want to believe that these things happen, but they do. And if you keep thinking that way, you'll end up dead. So I did like this video from Nick. You know, he does have a point, even if not everyone agrees. You know, at least be situationally aware of your surroundings. Um, Also with that killing of that Ukrainian girl, that shit really did piss me off, and nobody should have to go through that. Other than that, guys, leave a comment and y'all have a good night.